everybody! Welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And here we are, another day. Loads and loads of Skyriders today. Not like yesterday, is it? Look at them all. This is all Skyriders. There's one up there right now doing his thing. Yeah. Oh, I just stared at the sun. I think I might sneeze. But look at this. Total crisscross patterns, filled up the sky. It's all spreading out and turning into cloud cover. There's another one going in the other direction over there. Just must have heard me yesterday when I said, ha ha ha, they're not flying, they're not doing anything, they're not spraying. Yeah, well, they are today. They've really, really loaded up the sky. I guess the forecast of a nice day today, near 70 degrees, was not making them happy, so they wanted to make sure they took that away from us. But yep, that's what we see. All right, so let's get started here. Where do we start? Okay, first of all, I was asked yesterday about my lighting, what I do for lighting. All right, in the shop, I use these 4-foot LEDs, okay? These are Harbor Freight LEDs. I think when I bought these, they were on sale for $14.99, I think it was. Pretty sure that was it, $14.99 each. So I got one here, one down there, and I got one right over the workbench, okay? Those things are great. I have them set up on switches right here, and those are 120 volts. So there's one, there's the others. Okay, so that's my garage workspace area, and excuse the clutter in here. But at winter time, I have to bring everything that can stay outside normally, has to come inside here so that it doesn't get rained on and ruined over the winter. So it's all just stuffed in here right now, just to get it out of the weather. All right, next. In this shop, just like that shop, I use a potpourri of lighting in here. Potpourri, huh? Anybody like that word? That's like a $5 word, as my friends Tony and Leanne would say. Here I just have those little light fixtures, just wire nutted in place. I did put boxes up there so that I could put proper fixtures on down the line, but I didn't have money, but I did have those light fixtures, and I needed light out here. Those are on switches right here. So the top switch is the back half down there, and the bottom switch is the first half up here. Okay, then I have plug-in lights, and this is all 120 volts. I have these little plug-in lights for working in a specific area right here. So let me turn that on, because this is the answers to What Is It Wednesday? And since I'm right here anyway, let's get her done. So first thing I'm going to do is I got my chest holder on here for holding the phone, and that frees up my hands. So there is the tool. And I'm going to reach in my pocket and take out my list. So on the list here, there it is. It is called a saw set. No, it's not a group of saws of different sizes. It's a saw set. What is a saw set? Okay, remember, you squeeze the handle, and you have a little plunger that comes out there and just moves towards that other front piece. And you have a screw here and an adjustment to adjust that front piece up or down. and it's got a little taper on the top half of it. A saw set, in the good old days, before everything was power tools, things were hand saws. And the hand saws, all saw blades, well, not anymore, but back in the old day, all saw blades had a thing called a kerf set. And the kerf set is on a saw blade, there's a left tooth and a right tooth. So if I turn it here, you see this tooth is pointing that way, and this next tooth up here is pointing towards my finger. It's pointing this way. So that's a kerf set. So there's a little bend in the tooth, as you can see right there. There's a bend in the tooth, making that tooth lean to one side, and then every other tooth leans opposite. So this one is going to the right, this one goes to the left, this one goes to the right, etc. Okay, so after using the blade for a while, and this is not a carbide blade, this is an old-fashioned standard metal blade. So these would seem to get dull, and they would start burning like this on the teeth. And when you saw that, you had to take out your saw set or your kerf set, and you put it over a tooth. Let me get this up in thing here. You put it over a tooth like that, and you squeeze the handle, and you see the plunger comes forward, and you give it a good hard squeeze like that, and that resets the blade. Now, what I used to do in the good old days when I had to do that with all my hand saws and all my saw blades that were not my skill saws, as we called them back then. Now they just call them circular saws because there's so different, many types. But you see, I would put a mark on every other blade, so I would know what this side, I'm going to do that one, I'm going to do that one, I'm going to do that one. I have to skip over one each time. And so I would remember which ones I did. I would start with it and do this one, and then move it and go to this one, and move it and go to this one, and always keeping the next one at the top. So this little tool would fit right over it like that. And you can see, well, let me get it in the frame here. You can see how it kind of fits in between the other two teeth, and it's solid there. So at that point, you got it seated, and you give it the squeeze. Oop, I was offset there. There we go. So you see the blade or the tooth is evenly set in the chambers on the side there. It's set all the way in there. And then when you give it a squeeze, that little plunger, let me get it in the light here. This is harder than I thought. You get it in the light, you give it a squeeze, and that pushes that tooth that way. Now, after you've done that whole side, I would flip it over and mark the teeth, the opposite teeth, the ones that are going the other direction, and do the same thing. You set it over the tooth like that, squeeze the handle, you see the plunger going forward, and give it a good hard push. And that offsets the tooth, as we can see here. Let me see if I can get this. So that offsets the tooth. This one is the one that I just did. You see it's pointing towards my thumb. So that's what that is for. That's what that tool is. And we did have 4 people. The first person to come up with the correct answer was Russell Wiggins. Congratulations, Russell. You were first on the guest list. And then Topo, Texas was second. And then Junior-XWSDK was third. And Cliff Andrews was fourth. And then, of course, the members, the paid members of my channel, all get free entries. So they're all on the list also. So that was What Is It Wednesday 2.3. Now, next week, Wednesday is Christmas Day, and as I said, we won't be doing a What Is It Wednesday on Christmas Day. We're going to do it on Thursday, the day after Christmas. And you still get that 2.4. See, this is 2.3, so you get the 2.4 next week on Thursday. All right. So we got that. And I got one more thing on my list, but before I do that, I've got something else I want to bring out for all my faithful followers out there. All right. This is the year in review this year. I got 990 new subs. Welcome aboard, everybody. I had 296,200 views on my videos. I uploaded 319 videos. I had 19,300 likes. Come on, people. I got 296,000 views and only 19,000 likes. It doesn't hurt you to click that little thumbs up icon down there below the video. Just hit it. Hit it when you start the video so you don't forget. It's real easy. Just do it, please. All right. I had 5,385 comments. Again, you know, got 296,000. That's close to 300,000 views. And I'm only getting 5,000 comments? Wow. Come on, people. Let's get with it. So I had 1,219 shares, and those shares really count. So the hashtag #MyYear on YouTube 2024 is what YouTube recommends. I do a video and label it with that hashtag. So I may do that as a separate, completely separate video down the line, so that everybody gets to see the list here. All right. Those are my jokes there. Remember, got the girlfriend something with lots of diamonds? It was a deck of cards. All right. So let me hold this phone so it doesn't bounce on my chest as I walk. And I'm going to show you the other thing that I did today. So just hang in a few more minutes, everybody. It won't take that long. By the way, right at the end of this video, I'm going to post a picture I just took a little while ago. I got some new critters that have joined the compound here. There's 4 pigeons. 2 of them are with white on their heads and stuff, and 2 of them that are kind of like a purple, a dark gray and purple fluorescent color mixed in. All right. I got my Christmas wreath up, and down there on the cactus, I got my Christmas star at the top of it. That's my Christmas cactus. And I know I've been asked before, and I've answered people on it, but that was a long time ago, so I'm sure some of the newcomers right now are going to be thinking in their heads, what is that thing for? Well, let me come over here and explain it. All right. This was originally a hydroponics grow unit. I made it look like a cactus, and that bottom section is a tank that holds the water and nutrients. It comes apart at that point right there, where the last 2 branches and that bottom part stick into the bigger section. That'll separate right there. There's a slot on this side where the electric cord came out for the water pump, and it was a basic fountain pump. So the fountain pump sat at the bottom, and then there was a manifold of flexible tubing that came up through here, and one piece came up through each one of these arms here. Now in the arms, there's grow baskets. like this. And I would put media in there, usually something like volcanic pellets. Okay, they're little red pellets about the size of a small marble. And fill it up with that. That's just to hold the plant roots in place. So I had it set on a timer so that it would run a couple of times a day and not all day long. And what I would do is a pump would come on. It would pump up the nutrients from inside of here up into each one of the arms and grow baskets all the way up to the top one right there. And it would feed the roots of the plants that I had in here. And what I originally would grow in here was strawberries. So I'd have the strawberry plants in each one of these arms, and then the strawberries hanging over out of the sides of it. And I just set it out like it's sitting here, but I have it leveled. The dogs have moved this around a number of times. But I just set it out here. The dark colored pipes would keep the nutrients warm even when the temperature started getting a little bit lower. But it's no good in the freezing temperatures. So I haven't used this in a long time. Maybe I'll fire it up down the line, and I'll be moving it inside of that garden house extension there once I finish the garden house extension. So for those of you who are wondering, that's what it is. And since then, it's become my Christmas cactus. And I have all these solar lights in here. So during the day, they all charge up. And then at nighttime, I get the lights showing in each arm there. So it's kind of like a Christmas tree with decorations and light bulbs on it. All right. But the only thing is the dogs have gotten to this, and they've chewed off some of the solar lights in the plastic, and a lot of these have burnt out. They're not working anymore. And at the top here, I used to have one that went up pretty tall, and it had a little angel at the top, and it had colored LEDs in it that would go from green to red to blue to yellow to orange to green and rotate like that. It was pretty neat to look at night. But the animals didn't like it. It bothered them. So they would jump up and grab a hold of them and tear them apart like that. So that'll all end up going to e-waste. All right, everybody. That's it. Remember, questions and comments below. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Those of you who haven't already, shame on you. Go back there and hit that thumbs up right below the video. Leave a comment. This is G Bear signing off.